Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome back to this live this week. Usual disclaimers, I do vape, I do occasionally swear. We're going to ignore all this mess behind. This has been moved around from rooms to room. All this needs sorting. I'm up in the office today. So have to get that all organised. But yeah, just general disclaimers. So how is everybody doing? Wait till I do it. Look, I got fancy. I got a new light. Maybe just do more natural light. I'm after moving my desk, but everything's moved, so I don't know where anything is really. So you'll have to bear with me. I've got a fancy. It comes with a drawer and all, so I have stuff put in the drawer that I haven't seen since I moved house. So there we go. Now we're all organised. Hello, Mummy. How are you doing? Are you doing well? Hi from Sven. How are you? I think I did ask you last week what part of Norway you were from, but I don't know if you'd already left. I am keeping well, apart from this weather. It's weather for ducks at the moment in Ireland. I actually feel sorry for the tourists after coming over. I mean, as much as they say we love the 50, all the different shades of grey, or grey. Oh my God. See? They love all the different shades of green. It's a different story when you realise it has to rain quite a lot to get, sorry, I have wires coming out everywhere, all these different shades of green. Kerry, how are you, loving? Hello, Elaine, how are you? I actually was looking, Kerry, to send you an invite. I can send one from my phone, but I don't have enough power on my phone to do a live off my phone. But it says I can invite you as a guest. Haven't a clue. Ask Carl, he hasn't a clue, so I will Google it for next time, Kerry. Hello, mother. Okay. So I was looking at the news before I came on while I was waiting for everything and moving everything and doing everything around. And where Hayley lives up in Donegal in the school year, they're after getting fierce flooding. It was on RT News and everything. I was like, oh. And some of her friends, I think, stayed up there over the summer. So I'd say they're being washed out at this stage. The only thing is they're in apartments, so they're quite high up. But the back of their building, I think, slopes down. I'm trying to remember. So how is everybody doing? How did you all get on this week? Is it everybody surviving? Did you survive another week of the summer holidays? I am from Bergen on the west coast. Lovely. Well, you're coming to October's actually a lovely time to come to Dublin. I think September, October are nice. It's just before it gets that really silly cold, that real damp cold. It's October's nice. It's does be still quite warmish during the days. Nights are cold. More first thing in the morning is cold, but it's not as if you're running around. You'd be in bed. Won't make much of a difference. But no, the days tend to be quite nice. I'm good, Elaine. I am actually really good. Tired, but I'm good. I'm always tired. I don't know why I say I'm tired, like surprised tired. But no, I'm this week I feel tired. I feel tired. But yeah, so yeah, I couldn't believe the rain, and even here today it's done nothing but rain. So I had to change. That's the reason I had to change all the sheets on my bed. I had to bring duvets. I had to bring my duvet and Carl's duvet up to be washed. And I had to change all the sheets in the bed. Tony had an accident on both beds. So I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's suffering from anxiety, separation anxiety, or if he's got a kidney infection, or sorry, I'm just shutting the window. There's an awful draft coming in. I don't know if he's got like a urinary tract infection. But he's not going to the toilet and he's holding it. Sorry, it looked awful close. So yeah. Not good at all. So, Sven, where are you looking? Are you coming over on business, or are you just coming over leisure? Is there places you're going to go, or are you just going to stick around Dublin? Whereabouts you going? Kerry, I had to make my own coffee tonight. I miss you. a real damp out evening, isn't it? But it is here. It's just damp, and it's the type one you'd want to light a fire and just cozy down into. But yeah, I don't know. So anybody, anything nice planned for the week ahead, or are you just again, just sorry, your warnings after flashing up my screen? Heavy rain starting in 10 minutes. Oh. Kerry, look, it's the simple things in life. Sorry, the dog's just sitting outside my door. I know, Kerry. I mean, I had to make my own coffee. I actually came upstairs. You'd laugh. I came upstairs and I was trying to setting everything up, and I went, oh, I need a coffee. All the way back downstairs. Then I made the coffee, and then I thought, oh, I think I left my vapes down there. Back downstairs, get the vape. I thought, where's Kerry when you need her? Like, on holiday, me and my wife, wedding anniversary, lovely. Oh, that's a nice way to spend it. And have you been before, or is it somewhere new you're coming, or? I'm always interested where tourists find, because obviously living in the city and growing up in the city, you don't see it the same, or attractions that you've heard of, you just, they're tourist attractions. And half the time I know I haven't, but I have been to most. There's one place actually, sure, I wouldn't mind going, the Leprechaun Museum, because I think it's a true and utter piss take. And I just wouldn't mind going for the laugh. Sorry, I'm looking here, but the camera's up there. We should center the camera a bit more, should I? Sorry, lads, I'm moving you around here now. Oh, Jesus. These are pointing in every direction. Maybe that's better. You've been there before. Okay, fair enough. Like, I do love, when people sit and they come over and they go, I'm going to such a place. And I go, I never heard of that. Where is that? Off now for the weekend. And the weekend, I know. Who won? It was not Galway, Limerick, and was it Waterford? Oh, I can't remember. We're playing today. I caught a bit of it on the radio, but I was doing others. I was pulling pots. Limerick, perfect. I was pulling pots out from underneath. I've a unit in my kitchen, and it's a corner unit, and it's this semicircle that you can spin, 2 layers. And I put a pot and a lid in, but the lid got caught and I couldn't spin it. So I spent about 3 hours taking everything out, emptying one of the drawers of all the Tupperware. No, I didn't put the Tupperware. Where the hell did I? Oh, no, I didn't. I took all the appliances like slow cookers, toasters, panini presses, all stuff like that, and put them in the corner on the spinny things. Then my pots and pans I wanted to put into a deep drawer. So to put it into the deep, see, I should have just left the pot bloody lid alone. So then to get into to put all the pots in the pulley out unit, I had to take out all the Tupperware. And had to then, I put all the lids on them and then stack them. Any ones that didn't have a lid, I put aside, but it's only like 2 or 3 with no lids. But I should have just left the pot lid alone, because what should have taken me 10 minutes to take out the pot lid took me like 4 hours to get organised. Hiya, Dolores. Dolores in Seattle. How are you? Oh, Kerry, how are you doing? Kerry, Dolores asked me a question there, loving. She's doing fine. She's studying hard for her exam. She's got to repeat a history exam. But Kerry, what years is the history exam? It's a weird, not a weird time, but it's like very, very old Irish, old Ireland. 3? I know, Kerry, I should have just left the pot lid alone. But I was making, what was I making? I can't even remember what I needed the pot lid for. Was I doing carrots? I can't remember. It was obviously not that important. And they were cooked, but I wanted to keep them covered, just keep them cooking off the heat. 3 hours later, Jesus Christ, shocking, absolutely shocking. Yeah, so you're doing the history is 400 to 1200 AD and 1200 to 600, and then you have to repeat the linguistics as well. So it's really old Irish, like, so she's got that exam to do. When are those exams coming up, Kerry? And I've Haley in Donegal repeating exam. Oh, she's to repeat Constitutional Law 1 and something else. And it's another exam, but she has a load of stuff they have to do for the exam, where they have to hand it in to the professor. The professor's there in the morning of the exam and they have to hand it in. So have you got anything you have to hand in, Kerry? So you've got exams the 14th, 15th, 17th of August in Galway on the race course. Oh, not in the race course. You're in the race course for the exams. They're not doing them in the race course. You've got your exams. Then on the 23rd, Hayley has an exam. And then on the 25th, the Leaving Cert results are coming out. Then on the 1st, Hayley has the first Hayley has an exam. I think on the 31st of August, the places for colleges are coming out for Carl. And then on the 4th, she's got a neurologist appointment. I think that she's are all covered. So August and September are going to be quite busy. Not for me. I'm not sitting exams. Thanks be to Jesus. But I have a meeting tomorrow. I have a meeting Tuesday. So I think I'm going to go back to college to do a course. I'm not sure yet. I'm debating it. But yeah, so much going on. Well, communications, that's right. Okay, well, you can communicate fairly well. So you can. So Mummy lost power. Was it yesterday? He's lost power for the day. With all this rain that's gone around. She had a very bad thunderstorm actually yesterday. And all the power was taken out. So we haven't had thunderstorms. Just torrential rain. I mean, rain you could nearly go swimming in. Who was that? Donegal got it bad. I'm not sure. Elaine, did you get it down your way? Apparently not. No, Kerry. Maybe it's your choice of words when you're communicating. Mightn't be the May West. But no, you'll be fine. You'll be grand. You got this. My foot's catching. Sorry, you'll hear Tony snoring. He's asleep outside my door. My knee. Apparently a load of alarms went off. Hi Danielle. Just rain. Yeah. I've never seen rain like this. If someone would have looked out the window and said to me what I would have said November, December, it was that time, or actually February, when you get that driving rain, and it was just cloudbursts. The only thing on its favor is it's not cold, which is worse because you can't make it cozy then, because it's too warm to have your fire on. No, you just had rain. Sorry, I can't get comfy. But yeah, no, it should be. I think it's meant to be bad. There's loads of people walking around. It's meant to be loads of I think words, Orla, words. It's beautiful evening sunshine. It's weird weather. It is weird weather. It's belting rain. You're trying to wrap up to keep yourself warm and you don't get damp and it doesn't seep into you, but yet it's warm and you're trying to wear the thinnest layers you can find. Oh, very good, Dolores. You went back to college after being out of it for 40 years and studied home healthcare. Very good. Very good. Is that because how's your son getting on, Dolores? I meant to ask you the other day. I saw you put a comment on something. I meant to ask you. And how are you settling into the new house? Has it all calmed down now? Them robbing your tires? Was it your tires they robbed, or your plates off your car, your tags off your car, or something they robbed? Shocking. Joe, people have nothing better to be doing. I have a light here in my office. And it's one of these, I don't know what it is. But it doesn't get bright. Or maybe, I don't know. When we moved in here, there was all lights that were TP-Link lights. And you could control them on a remote control. And they flashed and everything when you come up. They're weird looking things. I don't know. I have actually 2 plugs that you can plug in. They're joined together. But plugs you can plug in and set them to come on like a timer. And I think you can control them on your phone. I have not got a clue. I am not very good with these technology things. But when I get sorted, I'll start looking at the finer details, shall we say. The summer is just, I've never seen a wetter July, I don't think. I've never seen rain like it in July. Excuse me. And June was beautiful. Excuse me, sitting at the back, it was just gorgeous. And then all it is rain. All it's doing is it's raining and warm, and it's causing the grass to grow like crazy. And because it's so wet, you can't cut it. So even little, I keep saying I'm doing it for the bees and the wasps and the nectar, anything that gathers nectar or anything like that. Because I can't get out to cut the grass because it's too wet. But because it's wet and dry, like the weather, the grass and the flowers and the weeds are growing like crazy. Absolutely mad. But I've never seen a wetter July. Don't know what I'm hoping. A wet July will get a nice August, September, and October when Sven comes over, because yeah, never seen the like of it. Never seen the like of it. London always used to. I always remember watching Wimbledon, and it always had gorgeous weather. Always gorgeous weather. Like, it might be warm here, but it was always hot. And yeah, I've never seen it rained off so much in my life. Mind you, Wimbledon was a bit of a joke this year. Don't know what was going on with everybody and their temperaments. That all seemed to go skewy as well. Absolutely crazy. The snooker's next on, I think, Mum, isn't it? Mum loves all the sports. And of course, we've got the Rugby World Cup coming up in September, the end of mid-September, through to the end of October. So that'll be interesting. We never get very far in the World Cup. We always seem to get like the quarters. That's it. It's like as if they freeze. So hopefully it should be. I'm actually looking forward to watching the teams you don't normally get to see. You know, like Romania, they're very good at Georgia. They're all very good at rugby, but they don't get into many tournaments that I would see, you know. Joshua is good. The place is nice. I had car plates and tire stone. Yeah, I remembered the tire. And then when I was saying a tire stone, I was thinking, no, maybe it got slashed, not stolen. Yeah, my eldest son Eddie got his car totaled. Oh my God. Oh, he's okay though. Seattle is a criminal paradise. So sad. That is sad. That really is sad. Funny, I'd never think of Seattle. I always think, like, unfortunately, when I think of high crime rates, I think of like San Francisco. Just myself, like the most uneducated woman. I would be thinking like Portland, places like that, Philadelphia, you know, not Denver, what you call it, where all the big industry was and it all left. Was it cars they used to make there? I always think of places like that, but Seattle, I wouldn't think of it. You know, Women's World Cup, of course, the Women's World Cup, I've been watching that. Well, as much as the highlights I've actually been watching, I haven't been watching the matches, I've been watching the highlights. Kerry and Dublin are on next week in the All-Ireland football final. Oh, up Kerry. Mammy's father was from Kerry. Elaine, he came from out near Dingle. So, yeah. My poor dog is out for the count. So, yeah, so it's actually sort of a bit of a feast, sort of the next couple of months on, call it, on the sport and the snooker. Watch the snooker and read a book. That sort of, mind you, do you know what I did today? All right. Kerry, I actually don't think I told you. I didn't message you yet about that, but you'll learn it now. Our Netflix went. We were on someone else's account, and obviously it was done, or they've done this new address thing, or anyway, whatever. We ended up with no Netflix, but I'd always got Disney Plus, and I was saying, oh, grand, you know, Disney Plus. I'm not a big telly watcher unless there's sport on. I'd sit down and watch it, but I wouldn't be a big telly watcher. And I was saying to Carl earlier, I was saying to him, like, we'll have to do something. We'll you know, is there something worth getting for the summer or for the winter that we don't have? So like I have Disney Plus, I have Prime. Not loving Prime, I have to say. I don't find many things on there that I like to watch. Um, and I was saying to him, what about Paramount? And he was saying, I haven't really heard that much about it. Like, and I don't know many people who have it. So we were starting looking at it anyway. So I got a 7-day free trial. Kerry, I must actually send you the details. Anyway, 7-day free trial. Fine. Start watching, what was the name of it? Yellowstone. And even the dog was engrossed in it. I actually have a video. I must post it up actually. At one point there's a cow having a calf. And I don't know what, but he was looking at, and I can see him seeing what happened. And I was just like, it was funny, but it's actually quite good. I'd seen loads of clips for it on TikTok or Instagram, one of them. Saw loads of clips for it. And I was just saying, I wouldn't mind watching it, but I couldn't find where it was on until I got Paramount. So I've signed up for a 7-day free trial on the Paramount. Gonna have a look around. For the amount I'd watch, it's not worth it. But if the kids found something that they were into and they were watching and they were doing all that, fair enough. It's the same price, I think, as Disney Plus, but it's because of the new rules with Netflix about the same house, and if you're away from the address you're in, you can't access it. We would all have to get a different account, and it would work out like 3 times the price. And I was like, no, not for the amount I watch. It wouldn't be worth it. So in fairness, we've probably gone maybe 2 months now without it. So Orla, Jennifer, hello, sweetheart. Yes, you are late, but you are forgiven, darling. I don't watch it. I don't watch. There's nothing. I mean, some people watching. The only thing I heard that people were sort of going out of their way to watch was the Kinahan series on RTE, but I don't watch telly at all. I always have the radio on in the kitchen. And when the radio's off, it's usually on my television I have in the kitchen. I'd be streaming YouTube up onto it, or I'm usually trying to follow a recipe. So yeah. The kids actually were saying to me what they're going to do is, and I don't know if you are interested in this now. If you're not interested in it, let me know, because I don't know if I'm going to break a hernia having one of these. But they were saying what they're going to do is, sorry if you can hear that dog, he's getting very loud. He's getting into a very deep sleep. His breathing, I'd nearly fall asleep with him. Anyway, what they're doing is they're looking at TikTok, viral TikTok cooking things. And they said, we'll send them to you, ma'am, and you just try making them. Right, okay. We'll see how that goes. But if there's anything you want me to cook, or if there's anything you want me to do at all, actually, let me know. Because, as I said, trying to get ideas and stuff, it's hard. And especially when you're trying not to repeat yourself. I mean, obviously, shopping is shopping, you know. I'm going to repeat myself on that. But I am thinking, now, lads, here we go. My brain was kicking in, something fierce, probably in the middle of the night. I think it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. It came up with a brainwave. I thought, I'm going to put myself on a real strict budget. I'm wondering if I could get my food chopped down to about €30 a week for one person. I find it very hard to cook for one, but I'm wondering if I could do it. Now, okay, I have stuff in the pantry that I just always have in the pantry. But I'm wondering if we could do it, and that would be €100. Obviously, the kids will be in college, but I'm wondering if I could do it and then save up the money and try and get a bit of savings together that way. I don't know. We'll have to see. I was actually thinking about it. What would I make and how would I go about it? But we'll see. That was just one idea popped into my head in the middle of the night, like woke me up to give me this idea, and then off I went back asleep. Actually, I think it was Tony Line in my head woke me up. But yeah, I had that thought in the middle of the night. You know, most people get up and have a cup of tea and go back to bed. I get up and decide I'm going to be really strict on myself for some unknown reason. I can hear a car. I can't see a car. Oh, I do. It's a car across the road. €58 is the living wage for food. Is that a week? We'd have to make it exciting. I mean, I have stuff. I have pasta. I have rice stuff. Like I have staples in my freezer, in my pantry. So I'm wondering how strict I could go. I think it's a good idea, Paul. I'd like. I mean, I right. Okay. So when Carl goes to college, I'm saying when because I'm manifesting when he goes to college. We're not saying if. We're saying when. It will be the first time in my 46 years. Well, by the time it goes to college, probably. Oh no, I'll be 46. I'll be nearly 47. I'd have ever lived alone. I have never in my life lived alone. I have never lived just me solo. So that's going to be interesting in itself. So I go from having everybody to having it fully empty house and just me and the dog left. And I have never, in 47 years, never lived on my own. I have never had to just look after myself. So it's going to be a really weird adjustment period, adjusting to all the kids being gone, and then adjusting to living on my own, and then adjusting to it being the first time ever. I mean, I'd be in control. I'd be in charge. The possibilities are endless. I could go to bed at 10:30 instead of 10 o'clock. Woohoo! A little rebel I'd be. Yeah, yeah. Jennifer, I'm finding some of the. I actually went back. I actually was watching back one of my old videos. Go back, I suppose maybe 2 years ago, and I looked at what I was shopping and even what I was buying. I was probably spending. There was four of us living at home, so my food shop was probably more, but the amount of food I was getting for my money was a lot. And now I'm probably spending just slightly less, and that's down to two of us. So it's been halved. So that way I can see it's just the treats aren't there. The padding of food isn't there where you sort of go, I'll buy an extra packet of biscuits, someone's calling up or whatever. It's like, okay, I'll buy a pack of biscuits and it will be put up. But you're like, you wouldn't even go and pull down a pack and just go, I'll have a bicky with a cup of tea. Like, no, that's gone. That's Danielle. It's a big adjustment because I was actually thinking about it the other day, and I was like, went from living with my mum. Okay, I'd gone and worked away for the summers, but I'd room shared with people, so I wasn't really living on my own. I wasn't living on my own, and my dad was out the road if I needed help, like. But this is going from. I mean, myself and the kids have. We say since Spain because it's really been the four of us since Spain. We have been just with each other. And then Haley went off to college, but it was okay because I still had Carl and Kerry at home. Carl was still in college, doing school, and Kerry was working. So there was, and then this year Kerry went down, but she was down with my mum, and and there was so much. Carl was doing his leaving cert, and there was this constant hype going in the house. But like come September, there's just going to be me. Katie, hi, I'll shout it tonight, so I'll catch up the live tomorrow. Katie, I hope you're doing okay, loving. That's no problem, love. You just get a good night's sleep and rest up and get your energy levels back up. But yeah, I've never done it. One part to me, it sounds terrible. One part to me is going, I should feel, my kids are leaving home, and make sure that. Another part to me is so excited, like I'm 18 and I'm getting to run the house myself. It sounds so stupid, but it's just that excitement. And then there's another part of me going, oh, that I should feel a little bit guilty that my kids are away, or not that they're away even, but I shouldn't be excited at the prospects that my kids won't be here, if that makes sense. I don't understand. I don't even know if it's making sense to you, but it's just there's one part of me that is so excited, and then there's another part of me going, oh, it's a weird, and it's like a constant wrestle with emotion. It's like you, you know, I suppose I'd probably feel like I would have when I was 18. I don't know, even for a week. See, I've had it where the kids have gone away for a week or gone down to my mom's and dad's and stuff, you know. And it's been like, yeah, brilliant. And then it's like, okay, I'm sort of done now. And they, you know, I want them home or I'll go down to them. But this is a full year. Well, it's not, it's 9 months, okay. Be pedantic, but it's like it's the first time where it's I know they'll be home. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know they're going to be home for Christmas, they'll be home probably in between 10 million times. But it's sort of more of a final thing, I suppose. And that's just and then there's me and Tony, you know. Um so yeah, so that's sort of in the back of my mind as well. So then I'm sort of going, well, I'll give myself challenges while they're away and sort of keep myself busy. So that's what they were saying. So we're going to send you up stuff for you to cook. And I was like, okay. So we're going to find them on TikTok and then we're going to see if you can cook them. I thought, whoa, okay, that sounds good. And then I'm sort of going, well, this food challenge be good because it'll give me a chance to save up, you know, and sort of get things. I have things, obviously not this year. This year has just been a shit show of a year with moving and all the other stuff that's going on. So I'm sort of going, well, by next year, I should be settled. So I want to get myself set where I can turn around and go, I actually am doing this, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And I'm not going, no, you can't just sit tight. Like, you know, Lynn, I'm starting my living alone experience after 38 years. And it really is fantastic. I mean, I'm not doubting that. I suppose one part of me doesn't want to get too excited, Lynn. I'm sort of going, I could do this, I could do that, I could do the other. You're your own boss. And I know my kids are older, so technically I'm not as if I have to come home to get them up for school or, you know, any of that. But it's, I don't know, there's a certain amount of guilt. I sort of am beginning to still go, oh, don't enjoy yourself too much, or don't I don't know. It's weird. I'm really, really struggling with it. Like I'm sort of twixing and twirling between all the emotion. It's like, yay, oh, yay, oh, you know. It can be lonely. I'd say it can, ma'am. I mean, as I said, I've never experienced. I went from living with my mum and dad, living with my ex-partner, to always having the kids. You know, there was never downtime. There was maybe the odd week, but even on holidays, I always took my kids on holidays. Like there was never gentlemen call it. Do you know what, Jennifer? The possibilities are endless, endless, endless. They'll be talking about me. Yeah, I don't think so. The thought of having to house train in it all. If you came pre-house trained, maybe, but no. Actually, I am looking forward to it. You know, it's as I said, it's one day at a time. That's it. It's just, I suppose, the novelty when everybody first moves out, the novelty will be grand. And that'll probably carry me up to Christmas. Then I'd say it might be a bit of a long winter until. But then, I mean, they're home. I think May, mid-May, is when all the colleges finished. So it's not like I have a lot of time. I just want to make sure the time I have, I don't want to be sitting dwelling on it, you know, and sort of feeling I want it to be productive. Whether that be for me and just self growth and just actually discovering who I am when I'm not a mum or when I'm not, as I was 20 odd years as a wife, discovering this person again. I suppose that'll take a bit of adjustment, actually going, I've done that for years. I actually don't like that. Or I always was this. That's not me. That was what I had to do because I had children, or that's what I had to do. I actually don't want to do that again. You know, like I'm, as I said, I'm excited to discover me, if that makes sense. I could be talking shy here all night for all I know. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm actually looking forward to discovering me. I'm actually looking forward to seeing who the independent me is. I knew the independent me at 19, but I don't think I've seen much of her in between. I've been on survival mode. I've been in just get crap done because no one else is stepping up to get it done. But would I say that was independent me? Not really. That was just, I had to do what I had to do. So I'm actually looking forward to now going back and going, okay, what really do you want to do? And things are coming through slowly. I'm sort of going, I wouldn't mind trying that, or I wouldn't mind doing this. It's like a holiday. I've never been on holiday on my own. And to some people, that would be their worst nightmare. And to me, it's something I actually want to try. Be that down the road to a hotel on my own with the dog, into a caravan on my own with the dog. I don't mind. But I've never done it. And it's something, actually, in fairness, the one thing I would love to do is I'd love to get the train from Amsterdam to Vienna, stay overnight and come back, or stay a couple of days and come back. There's things like that I've sort of been looking at. Now, the person I was with had no interest in trains. The kids were too small. I don't know if I would have taken them on trains. It was easier to fly somewhere or drive. Usually I drove. I like driving. Cara was saying to me, Mom, get yourself a caravan, just head off. He said that would suit you to the T. And it would. I am very much a wanderer in life. So I don't know. I don't, as I said, I don't know. I'm discovering all this. I'm discovering that certain things I want. And one of the things is, someone said to me one day, who was I talking? I don't even know who I was talking to. And they said to me, in 5 years' time, and I thought, Jesus Christ, I could be dead. They were like, in 5 years' time, what do you hope to have accomplished? Or what would you like to have that you haven't now? What are some things that, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think I'm just floating through life with no aim at anything. So that actually took me a few days, and I sort of sat down and went, okay, actually, there is a couple of things I'd like to have in place. There is a couple of things I wouldn't mind doing or owning in the future. And they were like, all right, okay, you need to make a plan. And I went, yes, I need to make a plan. But it's starting where I'm going, actually, do you know what? I do actually need to get a plan in place. I do need to sort this out. I need, and it's this thing of discovering who Orla is without mum, without wife, without all these labels that have been attached to me over the 46 years of my life. It's like, okay, actually, can I get back to me? And that's what I'm excited for, I suppose, would be the the aim of the game. Single, Pringle, and ready to mingle. Woohoo! Excited. It is. It's an opportunity. And I mean, when I separated from my ex-partner in 2018, I thought, okay, let's get back to the root, and find out who you are now that label is gone. But I was still mum. I was still daughter. I was still, no, not that I'm not going to be any of these, but they were the main things. Like, my father had just died, trying to help my mother through the grieving process, trying to help my children through the grieving process, trying to get myself to a place where I could move forward. And then I had this other separation going on with all other emotions going on. And so then I sort of fell down a trap of being in that spiral for a while. And we sort of came out of that. And then we went down but it's like now this year, everything, it's like the perfect storm. Everything came together in a good way, bad way. It all came to a head, shall we just say. And so things have to get done this year. So that's why this year we're not going on holidays. We're not going places. We're not doing much, because I have to let all this explode so I can start picking up the pieces. And so that's why I think I'm excited about the kids going to school, because when my dad died, when my relationship broke down, all that, I always had the children, and I was always like, obviously their needs, you have to take care of them. And this is the first time where I actually have time to step back and go and breathe. Now, what do you want, dear? So that I am looking forward to. Your son Eddie moved out 5 years ago. I love it when he comes over. He cooks all the holiday meals. He's a chef, isn't he? Dolores, you were saying. I mean, I love don't get me wrong. I mean, even with the girls have been away, I love when they come home and it's great, and I hear all the drama that's going on, and it's great because it's not my drama, it's someone else's drama, and they're just passing it on, and we're having a great chat about it. But yeah, it can be a whirlwind as well when they arrive, because everything, and they just want to talk and chat, and it's great. And I love the fact that they love chatting with me and sitting down and spend time with me. I mean, there's people out there that sell their right kidney to have a relationship with their children. But yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm not excited. Why don't you go on a spa day? Actually, myself and my mum were talking about going down to Killarney and doing a little spa break down there. I'm not sure when, but as I said, we're not doing much this year. I have a hell of a lot going on, things that have nothing to do with anything, but a lot to do with everything, if you know what I mean. It's just in the background. It's just white noise at this stage, but it's annoying. I'm trying to keep my language use to a minimum. So, Mom's actually gone down to, where is it? The Gleneagle. She's going down for a little spa package to Killarney Park Hotel. Funny, Mom's going down to the Gleneagle. October, I think she's going down with her friend. They're getting the facials and the pedicures, and I think she likes it because there's an awful lot of entertainment goes on in that hotel as well. The Killarney Park, I would never think of looking there. Oh, my babies are always my babies. I don't care how old they get. I mean, it's actually funny. Carl and Haley, there was always Kerry, and then there was Carl and Haley. And there's only 10 months and 2 weeks between those two. So they were always, we just refer to them as the babies. Like, are the babies coming down for dinner, or, you know, did you call the babies for breakfast or whatever? And to this day, I'd still say to Kerry, would you run up and call the babies? And she's laughing at me. When people hear me, they go, got babies? And I'm going, yeah, they're 19 and 20. They're not really babies. But for a whole month, for 6 weeks, they're both the same age. So, yeah. But they're all my babies. Kerry's my first baby. She's my baby. But it's actually nice. We were talking about this actually the other day. I don't know which, both girls, I think we were talking. Sorry. The leg of my trouser keeps going under my other leg and it keeps getting stuck. What you call it? We've actually we've sort of gone from, obviously, mum, where I'm disciplining, I'm showing them social norms. You know, you're training your kids for society, I suppose, is a good way of putting it. And they then get teenagers, and you're just trying to help them through all that emotion and stuff, but you're still mum, you know. And it's actually funny, Kerry being 24 now, we've actually seemed to have come out the other side, and where she enjoys my company, I enjoy her company, and we're friends, you know. And that is nice. This is the new sort of the next chapter in our relationship. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still not afraid to pull the mum card when I have to and go, right, I'm mum, I'm having final say on this. But it's funny because even now with Carl, like, Carl would come down and be like, wait till I tell you what's going on with this, or wait till I tell you what's going on with this. And we've actually got past that stage of, you know, them needing me to mum them, to actually parent them, as in teach them. I'm now there just to sort of give advice, step back and let them make their own sort of decisions and stuff, but be there for them and be their friend. But as I said, still not afraid to pull the mum card, and I do. Yeah, Irish twins, Dolores. I went for my 6-week check after having Haley and was told I was pregnant. Make that a what you will. Yeah, I don't know who got more of a fright, me or the doctor. Yeah, the Gleneagle Hotel, Mummy. That's right, the spa, the Gleneagle Hotel. Yeah, Jennifer, I know. And do you know, and I'll tell you this is the funniest. Telling my mum I was pregnant was one thing. When she's holding a 6-week-old baby and you're going back into her and saying, by the way, Mum, I'm pregnant again, because obviously I found it exceptionally early. because they couldn't understand why my hormone levels weren't coming down and weren't evening out after having Hayley. And they were like, yeah, no, you're pregnant. And I found it very early. But going in and telling my mum and dad that I was pregnant again with Hayley, only 6 weeks old, and they weren't bothered. I mean, I was in a relationship. I was, everything. They weren't bothered. I was embarrassed. I was actually embarrassed. I was mortified to go in and say to my mum, you're holding my 6-week-old baby. By the way, I'm pregnant again. Yeah. That's it, Jennifer. It's still going to tell your mum. And I always remember my dad just laughed. My dad fell around the place laughing. And I think my mum was in shock, a bit like myself, was in shock. But my dad just found it hilarious. He was going, well, the house is definitely going to liven up. So at the time, they lived next door to us. Just so like I was having a baby. Well, it wasn't just me. I may have physically been having the baby, but we collectively were having a baby because they were living next door to me. It was so funny. And I always remember that. I'll never forget walking in to tell them I was pregnant. My mom actually knew before I went for a pregnancy test because I was in a shop and there was this weird smell. And I only ever gagged on this smell when I was pregnant. It's like a musty, damp, weird smell. And I went in, I was like, oh, I have to leave the shop. That smell is horrible. And Mom kept looking at me and she kept saying, are you pregnant? I was going, don't be daft. Baby's not even 6 weeks old. And she was like, okay. She said, are you sure? And I was going, shut up. Like, don't be putting the jinx on me. Oh, God. And then when I came home, like, my dad just fell around the place laughing. He was like, oh, my God. Like, and yeah, my mom just was like, what the fuck? And I remember saying it to my aunt, and my aunt had 9 children. And I remember just, obviously, when you sit down and think about it, I was like, I'm going to have 2 babies under 11 months old. Like, what the hell? I remember ringing her sort of in a bit of a panic going, what do I do? Like, they're good. And she says, don't sweat it. She says, do not sweat it, because when the time comes and you have to do it, she says, guess what? You'll step up and do it. So she's no point stressing about it now. And you know, it's the best piece of advice I ever got. And I can still hear my Auntie Maureen, she's just laughed when she found out. And I was just like, okay, I got this. Yeah, very funny. But yeah, it's only 6 weeks or 6 weeks, 10 months and 2 weeks between my 2 babies. And that's why they're always known as the 2 babies, just the babies. Dogs out there yawning. So yeah, so the Galway races are coming on. The horse racing as well is coming on. Yeah. Jennifer, do you know what? There's a lot of things in life I've spent years worrying about. And when it's actually, like, when things happen and you need to step up and do it, you step up and do it. So I don't know why I wasted all that time worrying about it. Do you know what I mean? But again, hindsight is 20/20 vision. I remember bringing Carl home from the hospital, and I took, well, their dad obviously was there. He took Hayley out of the car seat because you couldn't leave the hospital unless your baby was in a car seat. But because Hayley wasn't born in the hospital at that time, like, he didn't have to. The 2 of them didn't have to, because she was older. He just had to show the new baby in a car seat. And I remember he obviously had a bag coming up or something. And so he put Hayley into the car seat, but she was a very petite baby. And he put her in, and she was able to be seatbelted into the new baby seat. And he carried her up, took her out, gave her to me sitting on the bed, and put the baby in. And they let us leave the hospital. While we were waiting to leave the hospital, no, Hayley was on, crawling. She was crawling at the time. And yeah, I remember her crawling around the floor. And I remember the nurse going, Jesus Christ, you've got your hands full. And I thought, not much I can do about it. Like, just have to get on with it. So yeah, it was funny. But I remember Hayley coming out of the car seat so Carl could go in so we could take him home. Oh, looking back. And I mean, people say, oh, you did it, like Jennifer there, you did it. I remember very little about that time. Like, I don't remember much of the detail because I think we were just in survival mode. Carl never slept. Well, he never slept. He wasn't a big sleeper. He used to go down at about 7, half 7 at night, but he was up at between 5 and half 5 every morning. Kerry, not a big sleeper. Hayley would sleep 12 hours. Even as a newborn, she used to take her last feed about half 12 at night. She used to wake up at like 9 o'clock the next morning. Hello, baby boy. Are you going to say hello now that you've woken up? Will I give you the look at the little baby? There's the little baby. Oh, he gone off wandering on me. But yeah, Hayley would sleep, but no. Carl would sleep, but he slept. He was very much an early down, early rise baby. You did what you have to. You don't get an option. I like no one. You don't get the option not to step up, and that's what happens. I'm the youngest of 5. My sister Marcy was 19 years older than me. Oh my goodness. My brother John, 18 years older, 14, 7. I have a niece and nephew. You have a niece and nephew older than you. Wow. I know my Auntie Maureen, her eldest daughter Marie was, I think, 21 or 22 when her youngest was born. It's bizarre, like. And I was an only child. Oh, sorry. Hair's falling down or falling up. I don't know what's doing. I was an only child, and my aunt had 9 children, and my uncle had 5. So I had loads of nieces and nephews, I had loads of cousins, and I would still be fairly close, like with them. And my aunt then on my dad's side had 4. My aunt and my uncle both had 4. My mum had 8 kids. Isn't it amazing? Like, how did they do it? How did they do it? And I mean, no one, like, it was just done. Like, no one talked about it. It was just done, I mean, I take hats off to them. Hats off to them. Don't know how they did it. But yeah, so, God, throat's a bit groggy. Take a drink. So anyone going away anywhere for the last of what's remaining of the summer? What are the kids back in school now? The kids are going back in August. Like, someone told me they were going back at the end of August this year. So they've only got another casino. Oh, I've never been to a casino. Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, you're going for your concert, Jennifer, aren't you? Your festival, your country music festival. I'd say you're looking forward to that. I have never been to a casino. I've been to slot machines, but never been to a proper casino. I'm the eldest of 5 and ended up being baby for brothers and sisters. The babysitter. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think happens. Nashville, Tennessee. I actually watched. What was I watching from Nashville? I don't know. There was something, and they were coming live from Nashville on one of the. I can't remember now. I think it was just something playing in the background. Tony, there's nothing there, love. He's just. So I'm going to contact my cousin. My cousin's a hairdresser. So my mum wants my hair cut into a bob. She's like, cut your hair into a bob. So, I don't know. So I was going to, do you remember I kept saying, she's going to go get my hair done, I'm going to go get my hair done. I thought, well, there's no point in getting my hair done because I actually don't know exactly what I want. And I'm not going in with, that's someone else telling me what to do. But everyone had an opinion. And I thought, okay, so I listened to everybody. I mean, some people are saying, I think Daniela could have been you that was saying get curtain bangs. Or was that Kira? I don't know. Someone was telling me, sir, what is wrong with you? Don't yawn at me. So I'm going to, as you can see, the end of my hair is blonde. and the top is brown. So I'm going to go and I'm actually going to get a colour put in it, I think. But I'm going to try and get maybe just a one colour in. And I know Hayley wants something done with her hair. So she was like, before we go back to college. Now, I don't know if Kerry is going to come up and get her hair done as well. Or she's going to get it done, the hairdresser she normally goes to. Sir, where's your manners? Don't bark at me. Grumpy old man. So I don't know if Kerry's going to come up and get her hair done, but I rang my cousin and I was talking to her and I was saying to her, look, are you around or what's the story? Because she does another job as well. She was a hairdresser for years and years and years. And she was like, no, I'll come do your hair. So I was like, oh, okay. So she's going to come up. So I was like, okay. So if I get her up in between, I think, as I said, Hayley's exams the 23rd of August, and I have to bring her up to Letterkenny for that. We are thinking of staying overnight in a hotel, but the next day, Carl's exam, 2 days later, Carl's exams are coming out. So I need to leg it back down. So I'm here for when she's getting it done. Emily's down there now. Okay. Hiya, Lisa G. God, I haven't seen you in ages. It's just, I don't know. I'm thinking I might get bangs. I might get layers. I just don't. Do you know what I don't want? Okay, this sounds terrible. I don't want a typical mum cut. You know, where they have it higher at the back, lower at the front. I just don't want that. I've had that before. And I'm like, no, I want to go something totally different. Now, there isn't much I haven't done with my hair, so I don't know how different I can go. This Egypt's in the hall with his arse stuck in the air. Swear to God, that dog is... he's a few playing cards short of a deck. Sir, your bum is sticking in the air. Doesn't care. Dog has no shame. No shame. But, yeah, so I want something totally different. But as I said, I've done so much with my hair. I don't think there's much different I could do. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just, as I said, I'm thinking just something I haven't had. I've had my hair long for quite a while. I mean, it's actually quite long now, be down here. So, and I find it's pulling now. Do you know, it's getting to the stage where it's pulling on my face. Sir. So it is. So, yeah. So expect that someday in the future. Don't know when, but it'll happen. So yeah, so that is really the crack. That is what's been going on. Sorry, I'm just reading back up messages in case I missed something. Quick question for you. How much do you all spend on shopping, food shopping? Like, what would be, and obviously it depends, but like for a family of 4 or a family of 2, as a couple, like what would you spend on shopping? I'm staggered at the amount of people who are like, spend 100 and odd, and I'm going, oh my God. And like for 2 people. I'm just wondering, because I find it very hard to gauge if I overspend or underspend, or if I'm about hitting them right. I mean, my family are fed, I suppose, so I'm hitting it right with food wise. But I'm thinking, am I spending too much on food? Like, should I be trying? Obviously, I know I do my challenge when Carol goes, but I'm like, maybe. What about a short, shaggy cut? Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. Lots of layers, lots of movements. 87 for the 3 of us. That's not bad. That's not bad. A good website to order Irish items, like what? Are you food or? I know there was Irish hampers I used to see sometimes, but no, I'm not sure of. And my man, my God, Jennifer Lane claim 300 to 400 a week ish, maybe some frozen bits. Yeah, I agree with you there. Do you know what? And I love Lidl and Aldi, but I find it very hard when they sell very little of it individual. I mean, Carl doesn't eat onion. I usually want one very small onion, so I've gone to onion granules now because it doesn't be worth it. 3 to 4. That's Canadian dollars. Let me get my phone. I don't know how much that is in euro. My phone's list me just came up and said, remember to book a hotel break. That's shocking. Okay, what is it, XE? Yeah, foreign exchange. Okay. So let me see. Amount. God. Right. So we say 300, we'll say. And it's Canadian dollars. Canadian dollars to euro convert. So it's about 200 euros. 200 to 300 euros. That seems like an awful lot, Lisa or Jennifer. 300 to 500 just on myself. Oh, okay. I mean, I was hoping to cut it down to about 30, 60, about 120, maybe 150 for the month for myself. Yeah, see, I'm a big meal planner. I'd be a meal planner as well. I actually was thinking, like mince, I can get 3 meals. The only thing that I do like now, Lynn, is I hate eating the same food twice. Like if I have college pie tonight, I really don't want college pie tomorrow or for dinner, for lunch or dinner the next day. So I would usually do where I'd freeze. Well, obviously I didn't have a freezer, so yeah. But I was thinking I could freeze one and cook one and have it the week after. So I'd nearly be doubling up on everything of the meals I'm making, if that makes sense. So the following week I might only have to make three meals and have 4 already frozen. Sorry, I just have to go turn on the light in the hall for this dog because he hates standing in the dark. Now, it's like when he's standing in the dark, he sees shadows and they freak him out. Look at you looking all muscly and toned. Giving out to me. Keeps giving me the side eye. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, and I was looking up a couple of all right, okay. Okay, Jennifer. So everything's really included in that. Yeah. I mean, that's the way I tend to I try and shop anyway, is I don't understand how people or why people would separate out like laundry, toilet roll, paper stuff, things like that. It's separate. To me, it's a shop for the house. Yeah, Danielle, I mean, I was thinking, obviously, with Carl here, and I mean, he's a boy, he's 20. Well, he's 19, he's 20 in February. There doesn't tend to be much leftovers now. I'm going to say that up front. You know, if you cook 500 grams or 500 grams of mince and put it into a spaghetti bolognese, it's gone. He'll come back for seconds or you'll have it later on. But with myself, I was thinking I could do base, I was trying to work it out. And that's why I said about 30 euro a week. I'm wondering if I could get it that low. But again, I would have to include deodorant and stuff. I mean, I have, as I said, pantry stuff. But I would actually love to try it. I'm actually looking forward to trying it. So, you can all see, you'll probably see me epic fail. Excuse me. But, well, God loves a trier. But I think the biggest thing, what I always do, and I've always done it for years now. I mean, going back to, I suppose, maybe when the kids were smaller, I'd always write down meals that we all really liked. So I've built up a nice little collection over time of quick, easy, cheap meals. Like even chicken, even bolognese, I will bulk it up. Hi, Mary. I will bulk it up with veg and stuff. And I know it's not a traditional spaghetti bolognese. Who cares? It's traditional enough to my house. But I would bulk it up like that. Yeah, I'm sort of the queen of, well, not the queen, that's wrong. I'm very good at making meals stretch, and I'm very good at inventing. Like, I remember, like, when I think back of it, we did a little bit of mince left. There wasn't a whole lot of mince left. I remember this one particular, because every kid loved it. And I had some par-baked bread. I had mince, and I thought, what the hell? But they were round little buns you put in the oven. So I baked all these 4 buns, and I cut them around the top, and I hollowed it out, and I put the mince into it and put cheese on top and put it under the grill, and all the cheese melted down. So, do you know what? The kids rave about it to this day. And it was probably one of the cheapest. I probably had a handful of mince, bit of veg, and a tomato. Well, tomato sauce was cheap enough anyway, or a tin of tomatoes. I had something, and oh my God, they devoured them. They were like, or pancakes. I was saying to Haley, we weren't talking about this the other day. She was making waffles. And I was saying to her, do you remember the pancakes that I used to chop the spring onion into and put? Obviously, take out the sugar. Let's get it unsweet first. And put in like the bacon or bits of ham and stuff like that, and cheese and whatever. It would usually be the day or two before payday. And it'd be, you know, the way you'd have 2 slices of ham left and 1 spring onion left and 1 bit of cheese and a bit of this and a bit of that. And I used to chop them. I used to put them into pancakes and make big pancakes out of it, because I always have flour and stuff, flour and a bit of milk and an egg. And I used to make savoury pancakes in the evening for their tea, but it'd be big, bulky and fluffy, and they used to love them. Sorry, I do as well bulking meals out. You have to. I think you have to nowadays, especially nowadays with the price of meat. I actually got a shock in my life. I went up to buy chicken breasts. I was going to buy for something, and it was €8 or €9 for like 3 chicken breasts, and I was like, not a chance. So I bought thighs and I pulled them all off the bone. But yeah, I think they were €3 for like a pack of 10. And I literally cooked them, took the skin off. The dog got, it was very funny. The dog got the skin, pulled all the chicken off, and I did up. I think it could have been sweet and sour chicken. It was something anyway. But jar, put in on top of it. And I put in stir-fried vegetables and stuff in it and bulked it up that way. But I couldn't get over the price of chicken. You have to bulk stuff up now. Sorry, the dog's at my feet. Yeah, no, I just find it's gone atrocious, absolutely atrocious. Your brother and sister would eat you out of house and home, yeah. They just seem to go through. I know Carl, Jesus wept. A cow I'd need out the back garden to keep him in milk. He'd have glass of milk with stuff. He'd eat cereal. You give it out to me, sir. But and that and bread, Jesus wept. If there's bread in the house, he's gone. He just that and chocolate sandwiches. Yeah, junk food and stuff and the sweets and stuff, they've all caught up in price. Like, there's no, do you remember years ago they used to say the reason people are eating so much junk food is so much cheaper than healthy food? It's not anymore. They're just, everything is stupid price. Absolutely stupid price, like. But yeah, no, I do. I like meal plan. I like, and then at the same time, sometimes I look, and if you've done so many meals, I look and go, I don't want any of them. He's off. Yeah, yeah. But no, I agree with everybody. The price has gone absolutely stupid. $150 for week for 2. Yeah, everything's expensive. See, Guinness are putting up the price of a pint by another 4 pence. I was looking at Temple Bar. I think it's $10.30 or $10.50 for a pint of Guinness. Something stupid. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, that came on. Was it the news the other day? I don't listen to the news very often. I glance on it. Pet food's gone up. Pet food has gone silly as well. Tony eats 800-gram tin of food now, plus his dry food, but his tin went from 250 to 299. That's €3. I'd say if I to put in the dry food, it'd be nearly €4 a day that dog eats. It's absolutely crazy. I'm actually trying. Oh, here's one for you. I'm trying this new Butterbox for dogs. Your man, I was talking to. I don't know where I was talking to him. He called to the door. I was just seeing him in a supermarket place, and I got 50%, 75% off a taste a week, and 50% off my next box, I think. Something like that. But I'm going to see how it goes. You cook the chicken and turkey. I just find chicken. I've actually started buying more turkey because it's cheaper than chicken. Yeah, there is. Sorry, we were looking at houses to purchase and what we could get here in Canada being able. Sorry, Jennifer, I'm not sure if you mean that the prices in Ireland were very low compared to Canada, but in Ireland, there's a big, massive, there is a massive shortage of houses in Ireland, and those that you can get near big cities are just stupid priced for what we get paid in relation to our pay. Yeah, wouldn't be great now. Butternut Box, that's the lad. Like luxury homes, yeah. I mean, we were looking at. I was actually at one point we were talking about selling up. Sorry, I just read another. I was going to sell up here, and so that would just clear the mortgage. And we were looking at buying somewhere else, and there was nowhere really for under 350 around Dublin. Our electric car is big in Ireland. Lisa, I'm not ignoring your question. I'll come back to it. I will come back to it. They are with it. The older generation seem to like them. There was big grants, but they're stupid money. Diesel would still be sort of the go-to for younger drivers, even my own age. I think it's in Ireland, having a electric car is nearly like you're on good money. Like, not that you're rich, but you'd be on good money if you could afford an electric car, because the price of electricity in Ireland is stupid. They were doing big grants on electric cars. You had to buy from new. And they were doing on the, what you call them, the hybrids. I think they did away with the grant on the hybrid, or they're doing away with the grant on the hybrid. And electric vehicles, then I think they reduced the grant. But if I was to drive down to my mother, if I go past Galway City, I don't know where there's a charging station. I don't think there is one. So Ireland is quite remote, bar sort of the big four cities. I don't know what you're after doing, but you look guilty. So I don't know. I know the big service stations and stuff have the charging points, but they even tried to try and get the popularity up. They even tried people buying houses that they would put a free charging station in their garden. I just saw that actually down in Drogheda, where I was living. But yeah, price of electricity is through the roof. So I don't think they are. Yeah, that's it. It's mainly companies giving it as benefit in kind, but no tax. Right? Yeah, there's no. Is there no car tax on Sorry, I don't understand much about. I've never actually, to be honest with you, gonna be honest with you, never even really looked into it because, well, my car, God bless her, she's on her last legs, but she's hanging in. I've never really looked into it, but companies are giving it as benefit in kind. Is that because they don't have to pay tax if it's an electric vehicle, or there's no tax on the car itself? I'm not sure. Or did you mind me asking your career field? I always thought you were a stay-at-home mom. One day you mentioned going off to work. Okay, so technically, no. Take it like instead of bonus or wages. So say 80 car card pay no. All right, okay. So they're not being taxed on it, right? Fair enough. And I suppose the company then they'd claim the depreciation or something on it, and they'd get some sort of benefit back as well. Right, sorry, Paul. I hadn't. As I said, I haven't really looked into it, so I don't know too much about it. Yeah, sorry, Lisa G. Mind me asking your career field. Okay, I was a stay-at-home mum. I then went working as I did a course then in healthcare, and I went working as a COVID tester. So I did that. I also do other little bits. But technically I would be a stay-at-home mum. For anybody watching, I'm a stay-at-home mum. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously I try and do bits and bobs. I'm going. Yeah, everything was thrown up in the air last November. So Tony needs me home. Tony's a pain in the arse. He yeah. So I'm gonna say to Tony, it was yeah. I've actually got a meeting. This is it. Like I've got a meeting coming up now on tomorrow. No, yeah, tomorrow and Tuesday. I've got 2 meetings coming up, and that's just about stuff to do on the site. So yeah. But technically, I am a qualified healthcare. I qualified in healthcare. I also did accounts for years, which I wouldn't mind getting back into because I think you can do that from home. Sorry, something just went off. So I've totally lost track. I love my gas Hyundai Corona crossover. Tony. I love my diesel car. I have no intention of changing it. I wouldn't go back to petrol. I'd stick with diesel. But yeah. As I said, I've never even really. The only one I did sort of. The only one I did. Tony, it's okay. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 minute. I don't know what he's barking at, but he's. What? You! Sorry, guys. That was Carl walking around downstairs, and obviously the dog forgot he'd gone downstairs and walked past him. But you know when you know he's barking at something? He's like, and he's squaring up and he's barking, he's coming in, he's going back. I'm thinking, oh, holy God, maybe someone came in my back door. I'm a devil for leaving my back door unlocked. Not that anybody's ever come in it. They might get more of a land if they came in it and I bloody attack them. No. There be one for you. Man breaks into house and files complaint because a woman violated him. Now, there you go. But yeah, so right, lads, I actually think I'm going to go. Unless anybody, any other questions or anything else they want us to touch on, or. But yeah, so house prices in Ireland are quite high, I think, especially for the amount of wages being paid, and that then puts them out of the market, especially for younger people. My Kerry, Haley, Carl will never, I don't think, ever buy in Ireland, unless they go very remote in Ireland. Excuse me, because house prices are just absolutely batshit crazy. So yeah, so I think we're going to leave it there, lads. What do you think? And we will have another live. Mightn't be next Sunday because I've actually something planned that I'm doing, but it might be the Sunday after. I'm going to try and get back into this routine of chatting because I like it. I do like it. Right, lads, I'm going to go. I am. House price in London are the same. Yeah, Danielle, I heard that, and it's actually a cousin of mine who is looking to move to London. Her wife is a freelance journalist, and they were hoping to move over to London, and they were going to actually go over just and get somewhere before she started work until they saw the price of them, and they're like, no. So yeah, everyone have a very blessed weekend or week ahead. It's Sunday. I keep forgetting the day of the week, and we will talk to you all during the week, and then I'll arrange for another live to come up fairly soon. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.